Millennials and Strategies. Now, that's an interesting title because millennials is quite a contentious term. It was, I think, originally written by Strauss and Howe back in the 80s to describe a group of learners who are born in the run-up to the millennium from the 80s onwards. And it's very similar, I think, as a theory to another theory which is also problematic, the theory of digital natives and immigrants, which was Mark Prensky's theory. Now, both of these theories are problematic because they tend to categorize learners in the age they were born in. It's interesting that millennials and digital natives, although they're not the same thing, they do have these similar connotations, that if you were born in the age when technology was emerging, then you become fairly adept at using it and don't really think about using operating manuals. There are other traits that have been identified, for instance, that are common between the two, such as that they have a very short memory span, or that they live at twitch speed because of all the games that they tend to play. I'm skeptical of both of these ideas, the millennials and the digital natives, because there doesn't seem to be much empirical evidence to support either of them. What there is a lot of anecdote. There's a lot of speculation, but nobody can agree on the age span at which we're talking about here. Now, the problem arises when teachers take hold of these ideas and they say, oh, well, these guys are millennials, or these guys are digital natives, so I'm going to leave them be and let them alone because they know more about using technology than I do. They may know more about using technology for things like games, or they may know more about using technology for things like getting involved in social media and uploading selfies and things like this. But when it comes to actually learning through the technologies, the pedagogical input, that's when teachers are still needed. And of course, these terms have stuck. Teachers tend to use them as an excuse to get out of the way, when in fact what should be happening is they should be getting involved. So therefore, as far as strategies are concerned, I think we're all in this together. It's not about the age that you are or when you were born. My view is that it's about the context. It's about how you use the technology. Now, if you are using technology in a habitual way, let's say Facebook, for instance, then you become very much what David White and Alison Lecornu call a resident in that area. Whereas if you're only using something like Twitter or mobile phones on a very ad hoc and very kind of casual basis, then in fact you would only be a visitor. Whereas someone else may be the opposite to you, and yet they may be older or younger than you. So it's not about age, it's about context. And as such, some of the strategies that we use will actually leverage the power of the visitors or the residents' use of technology. And that will include a whole range of interactive technologies or interactive pedagogies which involve technology. So strategies will vary across the themes. And millennials, digital natives, I would say let's ditch those terms and let's consider that we're all in this together. We're all learning together regardless of our age or background.